Muhammad Ali vs. Joe Frazier, Part 3, is thought of by many as the greatest fight of all time. Well, I just watched it the other day, and in my opinion, they're correct. Hey, what's up everybody? My name is Jesse, and I'm the founder and grandmaster of MMA, Mexican martial arts. I want to start off by letting you know that this video is sponsored by Hayabusa. And this week, we're gonna be giving away a $70 gift card. If you would like to enter to win, then the only thing you have to do is stick around to the end of the video, and I'll let you know how. What impressed me right off the bat were the entrances. These fools came out to the sounds of silence. And I'm not talking about this one.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
I'm talking about this one.
Muhammad Ali approaching the ring rather deliberately. It isn't how you go in, it's how you go out. That's the important thing.
Most fighters today go above and beyond to try to entertain the fans. And intimidate their opponents.
Tyson entering to some scary, imposing music.
But true warriors don't get down like that. Do you think that when the gladiators fought, they were coming out to Rihanna? Have you seen Chuck Norris wearing a mask so that he could scare his opponent? Chale. And then right after that, the commentator started talking about what Joe Frazier was wearing.
Joe Frazier finally stripping down for the fray. He'll be wearing blue denim.
Denim? That fool was boxing in his jeans? Savage. These days, everybody wants to wear the little chonis, spandex, or nothing at all. Which has resulted in multiple cases of pink eye in the combat sports community. But this is what the mainstream media is not telling you. I have to admit, there was a moment when I became very excited. I thought those fools were gonna get down bare knuckle style. I did a little bit of research and I found out that that was actually why they did the fight in the Philippines. Because that supposedly the Philippines don't have a fight commission and they weren't even gonna be tripping about the gloves. But then at the last second, those fools at Everlast ruined everything. I guess they were sponsoring the event and they said that if those fools didn't wear the gloves, they weren't gonna pay up. I hate stuff like that. It makes me so mad. But what I did like was the weight situation. These days, when you're preparing for a fight, you're not even worried about the other fool and the way that he gets down. It's all about the camp. Fat camp. It has been rumored that the UFC is currently in talks to change its name to The Biggest Loser. But it wasn't like this back in the old days. These fools got to weigh in 5 entire days before the fight would even take place.
I feel that since they weighed in Saturday, that was 5 days ahead of time, ahead of schedule. So therefore the weight will have no bearing here because I'm sure by the time they worked out 3-4 more days, plus after they dried out, they were down to the fighting weight.
Matter of fact, Joe Frazier had gained back so much that he actually caught the attention of the commentator.
Ken, would you think Joe gets his hitting power from his big legs? He's got very big legs.
Look at them legs.
But what caught Ali's attention was that trophy. The president of the Philippines wanted to honor the winner of the fight with a big trophy. But the moment that Ali laid eyes on it, he decided that it was his. Now we know where that fool McGregor got it from. Now the fight is about to start, and it's obvious that these fools don't like each other, and they decide not to touch gloves. At this point, they've already had 2 fights. Muhammad Ali lost the first one, and Joe Frazier lost the second one. And both men were determined to win the tiebreaker. No touching gloves, and no touch but in the park. Personally, I appreciate Ali's decision to let Joe Frazier throw the first punch. That's how I advise all of my disciples of the Mexican martial arts to get down, because you never know who's watching. Always let that fool throw first. I know that that doesn't really apply in this situation, but it's nice to know that he's paying attention. And I understand that a lot of people believe in starting off strong and taking charge from the very beginning. But Ali was not concerned about this. He was keeping that fool so far back with the jab that he couldn't even airdrop him. But Frazier was trying to play it off. He was doing like a lot of fools do when they're embarrassed and they're trying to save face. He just started smiling. We've seen it before. But as far as Ali was confirmed, Frazier would not be saving any face. Ali's plan was to take that face off because he knew that he could not leave it in the hands of the judges. Because when you do that, things tend to go very wrong.
And new
So he dominated the first round, and then again, Frazier starts compensating with the juvenile antics. But Frazier's antics against Ali were the same as Conor's against the homie Khabib. Ineffective. So Ali continued to push him around. Literally. Even when Frazier has something going, he just couldn't cause any real damage. Ali kept putting him in positions where he thought he was in control, but Ali was just letting him get tired. I don't know what Frazier was thinking. It was like he had never heard of the rope-a-dope. Didn't he watch the Rumble in the Jungle? So Frazier tried to even the playing field a little bit with a string of low blows. Frazier threw so many low blows that Ali's trunks actually started to fall off.
Ali's trunks are dropping little by little.
So Ali socked that fool after the bow just to let him know what's up. And then right after that, he was still on his feet, having some fun with the crowd, while Frazier's coaches were trying to talk him into continuing the fight. But as soon as the fight continued, Frazier was back with high energy.
Neither boy looks the least bit tired so far.
But it's like I said before, you could come out with high energy and even be landing shots. But it doesn't matter if you're not causing any damage. Every time Frazier would land, the crowd would go wild because it was becoming more and more obvious that he was the underdog. And they felt bad for him. But why? Why support him when he continues to show disrespect? I believe that the crowd's behavior is what caused Ali to step it up.
Ali dancing for the first time.
It was like that moment when Bruce Lee was fighting Chuck Norris and he was like, all right, I'm done playing. But just like we still see in combat sports today, the judges were trying to control the narrative and they were acting like the fight was even.
I think it's turned into a pretty even fight after a one-sided beginning.
They even had that fool Flip Wilson guest commentating and he was just fangirling the whole time.
I think Joe is starting to smoke. Yes, I think Joe has started to smoke, and it should be pretty close to even about now. As I said earlier, Joe is really starting to smoke. It looked a little shaky from the go, but Joe is starting to smoke, and
It's like they say,
what you see is what you get.
but what I saw next
I would think that his body shots have
was very interesting. I went on some fight forums and apparently this is a very common thing, but I had never seen anything like that before. I remember it was such a big deal when they did it to Claudia Gadela, so I didn't think it was normal. And then they kept doing it. At one point, the corner man even whipped out the sponge. Look at this fool. He looks like he got caught doing something wrong. Cochino. And then there was another moment when one of the corner men became very hands-on. And it looked like he was blocking our vision on purpose so that we couldn't see. And I am forever grateful. During the later rest breaks, they wouldn't even put the camera on Ali anymore because they knew that the sponsors wouldn't be happy if they lost their PG rating. So they just kept the camera on Frazier. And I can't blame them because it got to the point where I didn't even care about the fight anymore. I was just curious to see what they were gonna do to Ali's groin next. But it didn't matter anyway because by this time, it was already clear who was gonna win. You could say that Muhammad Ali defeated Frazier, but you could also say that Frazier defeated himself. He put in hard work during the entire fight, and he kept moving forward. But that was the problem. He kept moving forward right into a trap.
It's a trap!
He wasted all of his energy getting fooled into the rope-a-dope. And to make it even worse, he was really itchy. He kept trying to scratch his face during the entire fight, and it was throwing off his rhythm. So much so that at the end of the 14th round, he decided to give up. And it was at this very moment that every able-bodied man in the Coliseum entered the ring to help assist with Ali's groin.
Well, they're doing a better job here than they have anyplace else.
And there you have it. Frazier won the first one, Ali won the second one, and Frazier lost the third one. You see what I did right there? But was it the greatest fight of all time? I don't know yet. I got a lot of other fights to watch. If you have any suggestions, let me know in the comment section below. I want to say thank you to Hayabusa for sponsoring this episode. Without you, I wouldn't be able to tell everybody that I'm working with GSP. And now, I want to give all of you the opportunity to win a $140 gift card so that you can shop with Hayabusa. Just remember, in order to enter the contest, you have to be a resident of the United States or Canada. Several people have already moved just so they can enter the contest. And so far, nobody has any regrets. If you would like to enter, just go to hayabusafight.com/voto and follow the instructions. Link in the description below. I would also appreciate it very much if you would consider subscribing to this channel. I'm trying to reach 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And if we reach this goal, then Flaco has agreed to do a fight breakdown all by himself. That's right. You finally get what you've been wanting all along. Thank you for watching Mexican Martial Arts. Appreciate it. Good looking out. Late.
You good?
Hey, do we have a sponge?